All right, how you doing, YouTube? Silver Joker here. Everybody enjoying that little bump in spot price we got? If you bought silver at $14 an ounce like I did, then we realized a little bit of return on our investment. But we're in this for the long haul. I mean, nobody's rushing down to the coin store and cashing in on their silver, I hope. We got to hold out. We got to hold on. I think this is just a precursor of good things to come. Anyway, I'm heading down to Franklin Street Coin to talk to Phil and ask him what he thinks about the silver spot price if you got a minute. So if you guys are interested to see what we're going to pick up, let's ride. All right, so Phil had a lot of silver for me today. Went in there, a lot of constitutional silver, a lot of 3/9 fine silver in there. I think a lot of people have been trying to take advantage of the little spike we had in the spot price. That may be good for some, but I'm telling you, I think that's kind of a bad idea right now because I think silver is going to continue to go up. I think silver spot price is going to continue to spike. And I want to buy some gold. Had a guy in there. He was kind of a fan. He recognized my voice. His name was Greg. He's an electrician. He was in there. He was buying silver. He said he's kind of a novice at stacking right now, but he has put some gold away. It made me think about the gold to silver ratio a little bit. I'm waiting for that gulf between gold and silver to kind of come together a little bit. I still think it takes way too many ounces of silver to buy an ounce of gold right now for me. I don't really understand how that's done. I know that silver normally chases gold. So when gold goes up, silver goes up. But lately, that's not been the case. I mean, silver's been going up on its own. And I mean, yeah, silver's been going up on its own, and gold is kind of staying a little stationary. Don't know a whole lot about that, but I mean, I just follow what the markets are saying. So I asked Phil to kind of explain that a little bit because I think with spot price going up, we might see that gulf between gold and silver to come down a little bit. And if that happens, I might pull the trigger on some gold.
Well, I think it's closing the gap. The ratio between gold and silver is pretty high right now, so I think silver's closing the gap. Rather than gold coming down to close it, I think silver's going to inch up to close it.
Okay.
At one point, it was over 90 to 1, which is very unusual. And I don't believe gold is overpriced right now. I think silver's just underpriced, so I still believe it's a good buy.
All right, for all you new stackers out there, what is the gold to silver ratio? That thing always bugged me when I first started stacking silver, when I first thought about getting gold. But I'll let Phil explain it, exactly what the gold to silver ratio is in his words.
It's the price. If you take the price of gold and divide it by the price of silver, it should, in years past, it's been in the low 80s, high 70s, low 80s. The last I looked, it was 91 to 1, which means that 91 ounces of gold or 91 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold in terms of dollar value. So it just seems like gold was either overvalued or silver was undervalued when the ratios become that high. And looking traditionally at what gold is selling for, I don't believe gold is that overvalued. I believe silver is probably undervalued to create that kind of a ratio. So I think that's why we're seeing a little uptick in silver.
All right, so I know that the silver that you guys just saw has some condition issues, but Phil just bought that. Another person trying to take advantage of the uptick in the silver, so he brought a real big stack of silver in, and Phil bought it. And so the condition is a little questionable, but I got it at a very good price because of that. So anyway, I asked Phil to explain what silver being undervalued actually means and how that relates to what we're doing.
Yeah, the dollar per ounce that it sells for, I believe, is probably below what it should be selling for in relationship to gold and really the economy and everything right now. A lot of people will tell you that they believe, one thing or the other as far as whether silver's high or low, and really the argument goes back to how far back you really want to take the argument, because you can make a case either way that it's overvalued or undervalued. Silver might seemed like a good buy now when it was selling for $45 an ounce back in 2011 and 2012, but it's still a lot higher than it was in 2002 and 2003. So the argument really is dependent upon what side you want to take. But I believe silver's still a decent buy right now in terms of anything under $20 probably is long term going to be a good buy.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And if I didn't agree with that, I wouldn't be in the store buying silver. So I asked him if he thought that this trend was going to continue, if he thought that the spot price was going to go up a little bit more, or if it was going to go back down, we're going to be disappointed. So anyway, he answered that question for him. But I just want to tell you guys, this is a store that he's running. I mean, we're doing this conversation, but I mean, it's a store. It's his business. So all the little interruptions and the music in the background, that's all his store. And he's going to run his store the way he wants to. And I just appreciate his time. So this is how he answered that question.
Yeah, I think what's happened, it pushes up and then takes a little bit of a breather and then pushes up again. And it hasn't dropped under 16 now for about maybe a week or 10 days. So I think it's kind of set a new base for itself. And that's how it works. It pushes up and pulls back and pushes up and pulls back. But not too long ago, we were looking at $14.80 silver.
Yeah.
So considering where it's at today, even though it's pulled back a little bit today, it's still much higher on a percentage-wise than it was a month ago.
Yeah.
Now, those trends never continue on forever, obviously. But, I still think it's a good buy right now. I still believe it's, in the long-term holding aspect, it's still probably a very doable in terms of holding it and at least protecting your money in it.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so there you have it. This is the stuff I managed to pick up there at Franklin Street Coin. Now, a lot of what me and Phil talk about, the stuff that I share with you guys, of course, that's his own personal opinion, but it's an opinion that comes from years of experience of buying and selling silver. I mean, the man is successful at what he's done. I mean, he's built a business buying and selling precious metals. So that gives a lot of weight as far as I'm concerned into what he says. So, but it's still up to you. You agree with what he says, don't agree with what he says. But I mean, I think it's worth just listening anyway, getting a different point of view, getting a certain perspective on buying and selling silver. If you're into stacking silver like I am, then all this stuff is helpful. All of it is helpful. So I try to share as much of that with you guys as I can. But like I said, it's really up to you. Do your own research. Do your own make your own decisions when it comes to buying and selling precious metals and silver. But anyway, I got a lot of comments on my last video saying stacking silver is ridiculous. When crap hits the fan, nobody's going to want to give food for your precious metals, for silver and whatever. Look, I'll do a video on that subject, clear up some of the misconceptions about silver and the apocalypse later on. But realistically, silver is an investment for future retirement. If silver goes to $100 an ounce, great. I mean, I'm rich, but I'm really not motivated to stack silver based on that possibility. I mean, there's a lot of great, there's really a lot of passion in stacking silver for me. I mean, I like silver, and I think that's really the reason why I haven't really got into buying gold, because I really just like silver. Now, there's nothing wrong with gold at all, but silver will do the same thing gold does, only in smaller increments. And so, if you want to do gold, by all means do gold. If you want to do silver, do silver. The main thing is to do something other than put your money in something that can go to zero. I mean, all you need to do is look at some examples around the world of what the currency's done with it, super and hyperinflation and all that kind of stuff. And silver or precious metals in general, is just a hedge against that. It's just kind of mitigate or kind of put off some of the effects of inflation, especially in the future, because it's only going to get worse in the future. I mean, let's face it. But I believe that's why I don't really stack gold, because I just like silver so much. I mean, I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I like the way it makes me feel about my future. It gives me comfort when I think about my future and I look at my safe and see the silver that I've managed to stack away. And that's another thing too. There was a guy in there named Don. He was in Phil's store, and he was buying a slabbed Morgan dollar, and he was buying it because him and his son are starting. Well, they've got a good deal going on. I mean, they got a lot of pieces to a Morgan collection, and he was buying a slab Morgan, very decent looking slab Morgan. And that's what he's doing. He's putting it aside so his son could have that for the future, because he knows, he realizes, like many of us do, that it's not going to go anywhere. That silver is going to be there no matter what happens to the economy, no matter what happens to this fiat currency. He'll have that nest egg. He'll have that comfort or that security. Now, a lot of people, I'm sure, are selling their silver now because of the bump. But, one miscalculation, one act of panic can wipe out a really long, a lot of stacking and putting stuff away. A lot of sacrifice that you've put to put the silver in your stack can be lost in just one moment of panic. So I say, silver's going up. It might go back down. I mean, if you've been stacking silver as long as I have, and I haven't really been stacking silver that long, you know that it goes up and down, goes up and down. When I started stacking silver, it was like around between $25 and $23 an ounce when I first started stacking silver. And it's gone way down since then. It hasn't really gotten back to that, but I'm holding out hope that it will. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I've already talked more about, certain personal things than the silver, but you guys see it. I mean, I've shown you the stuff that I bought there, and I'll be going back and buying more silver, and I am absolutely going to get me a 100-ounce bar. There's no stopping that. I'm going to do it. Hopefully it might get two. But anyway, so I'm going to do that, and of course I'll share that with you guys. I got some other videos coming up real soon in the future. I got something coming up that I think you guys are going to find pretty interesting. It's a little bit off of the beaten path. It's still about silver, but I'm going to do a video and try to clear up some misconceptions that come up a lot in the comments in my videos. So, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate all the beautiful, wonderful comments that you guys leave, all the love that you give me, and I'll try to continue to do that. So if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think and how I'm doing. Anyway, keep stacking. Peace.